If you want to build a statuesque physique that looks like it's been carved out of stone, then you need to train your whole body with balanced development. If you're just starting out, it can be hard to know which exercises to choose. An excellent place to start is compound movements, although they aren't always the best choice. For example, shoulder presses are a great exercise, but not for everyone. If your shoulder hurts every time you do the movement, then it's not a good exercise for you. The best way to choose exercises for muscle growth includes understanding what works and doesn't work for your specific situation. After this, we have to consider the equipment we have, energy levels, and movement patterns. Movement patterns are the easiest way to choose exercises needed for muscle growth. And if you're a beginner, making sure you've included specific movement patterns in your program with exercises you could easily apply progressive overload to is a great place to start. Progressive overload is where we increase the intensity of our workouts over time by adding another repetition or more weight each training session. First, we'll look at push and pull movements, fundamentals that need to be in everyone's mass gain program. This is where it gets interesting. We can do pushing and pulling exercises at many different angles. Each one stimulates the muscles differently. You should generally have a horizontal and vertical push and pull exercise in your program. The shoulder press is a vertical push, and as I mentioned before, not everyone can do a shoulder press. Using a neutral grip is easier on the shoulders and will work for some, but for others, lifting anything overhead is a problem. This is where isolation exercises like lateral raises come in. Isolation exercises are great for filling in the holes in our training or providing extra work to bring up a stubborn muscle group. To build an efficient workout program, we must understand what muscles cross over from one exercise to the next. For example, the primary muscles involved in the flat bench press are the chest and front delt, with the triceps being worked as a secondary muscle. Compare this to the shoulder press, where the primary muscle being worked is the front delt, with the triceps and lateral delts playing a secondary role. Knowing that the front delts are being worked when bench pressing, and if you're doing an incline press, they're worked even harder, allows us to make room for a lateral raise, which targets the side delt much better than a shoulder press. So how would we put this into a program? I'd set it up as an A and B workout, with bench press in workout A and shoulder press in workout B. If you can't do a shoulder press, then I'd switch it out for an incline chest press to target the upper chest and front delt. The steeper you set your bench, the more front delt will be working, and the less upper chest involvement. Usually I have mine at 30 degrees, but if you want more front delt engagement, increase it to 45. I haven't forgotten about lateral raises. I put these toward the end of workout A, as it's best to do isolation movements after your heavy compound lifts. Now let's talk about pull exercises. We're looking for a horizontal and vertical pull. Bent over rows or seated cable rows are good examples of horizontal pulls, with pull-ups and lat pull-downs being examples of vertical pulls. Horizontal pulls are often called back-thickening exercises, as they primarily hit the traps, rear delts, and lats. The secondary muscles worked are biceps, low back, and rotator cuff. Vertical pulls are a superior lat exercise, as they work the lats through a full range of motion, and you can choose the hand position that's most comfortable for you. Again, there are other angles we can perform pull exercises at. One of my favorite examples is the 45-degree elbow out row, the best compound exercise for hitting both the lateral and rear delts. When you think of an imposing Greek god physique, you gotta have great delts. Another movement pattern that's a must is a hip hinge. The most common is a deadlift. My personal preference is the Romanian deadlift, although a hip thrust would work in this category too. With these movements, we've almost covered the entire body. Let's talk a little bit more about isolation exercises. Even though biceps, triceps, abs, and calves will be worked as secondary muscles with these compound movements, to get that Greek god physique, they'll need to be worked on their own as well. There's a long list of exercises you can use. Pick one and stick with it for a couple of months. Then switch it out to add variety to your program and a fresh stimulus. You've probably noticed I've missed the most important movement pattern, and that's squats. You definitely need these in your program, and to find out if squats or lunges would work better for you, watch this video next and keep working out while having fun. This is Lawrence from Fit and 50. We'll talk to you again in the next one.